Hiya folks, JD here, and today we're looking at this. This is the Tozo Q2020. Now we looked at this the other day and he fell out of the air. I wasn't too impressed, so what I've done, I've got a new battery. So with this battery, I'm just going to connect him up and we're going to see whether or not we get any other issues from him, like falling out of the sky unduly. So I'm just going to connect him. That should be him in, yeah. So now we're going to take him up, we're going to see in this revisit if he does do anything like fall against the floor. I'm not going to be too impressed if he does, but to be honest, I think with this new battery, I think we're going to be okay. So let's take him up. Alright, so he's on the pad. Let's just bind now that we've bound to the quadcopter. We have solid lights, we have solid lights. So that's one easy way to tell that we've bound correctly. And then let's just take him up. Okay, so altitude hold with this model, and he's holding pretty damn well. Look at that! No way! I mean, we had a little bit of a breeze here last time that we took him up, but I didn't expect him to hold that well. And with this new battery, it sounds as if his motors have altered sound. Before there was like a screeching sound, now it seems to be very sort of muted. It could just be me, mind. I have flown, I think, another 6 quadcopters since flying this, so it could just be me, but he does most definitely. Look at him. I love the way he just prowls. As I said in the last video, if he was a little bit quieter, he would be a remarkable stealth quadcopter. Just look at him, he just prowls the land. He runs really well. He does run really well. So, last time, I don't know what happened, he just decided to fall out the sky. There were 2 beeps, and then he just fell on the floor. So, I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. So I've come out, obviously same quadcopter, same transmitter, but different battery in the quadcopter, and 2 brand new batteries in this transmitter as well. So should there have been a disconnect for any reason, I can't put my finger on what the 2 beeps were, so I just thought I would use the same kit, but with different batteries, in case there were either some dead cells, a short, or anything like that. So far, so good. It was, I think, a good like 4 or 5 minutes into the flight where he decided he was just going to have a lie down. As somebody commented, that did make me laugh a lot when I read that comment. He just wanted to lie down. That was brilliant. So again, he's just seems to be fine. Nothing seems to be bothering him. He's just flying through the air. He loves doing little turns, little figure of 8s without any issue at all. He's just, on the whole, quite a happy little copter. Now I'm hoping, I gave him, I think it was 6 out of 10 last time, and that was just purely because he fell on the floor. And I didn't really appreciate the fact that he did that. So, obviously I don't want to be recommending something which doesn't work correctly. So, hopefully today, let's do a couple of turns, let's do a couple of banks, let's try and see if we can get him to be a little bit off-centre a little bit. He does fly so well though. I mean, even altitude hold, if I was to stop him there and bring him down a little bit, I mean, we've got a little bit of breeze, so obviously that's the movement we've got, but he is, again, remarkable. We're seeing some fantastic cheap quadcopters, really now, we really are. I don't know what has happened, the balance has shifted, and quadcopters that used to be cheap used to be absolutely terrible. I bought a few last year and they were just absolutely gash. But now this balance seems to have altered, and now they must be using better parts. Probably prices have dropped with motors and stuff like that. A few more of the shells I have noticed, like this guy, are really aerodynamic. And because you get in no camera options as well as camera options as well, the battery time is lasting even longer in the no camera options. That's why, even though it's nice to have a camera, I've done a lot of filming and it's, you know, in the same place, you're not going to see a lot of difference. So that's why I opt for the no camera options, so I get a longer flight time. And it does. 2 or 3 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. So I think the lights are flashing on the front. I hope that's just a little thing I haven't noticed before, not the battery. Let's bring him back to us, let's have a look. Oh, no, they're not flashing. I thought they were. There we go. Right, that was me. I just noticed the video mode was on, so I just turned the video mode off. That's what that beep was. That wasn't the beep of impending failure. Well, fair play, he is just flying around without a care in the world, no issue at all. These little motors are carrying him. They don't sound overly happy about doing so, but they are. Let's bank him a little bit, there we go. Get him back into a nice little line. Just bank him around a bit actually. Why not? Nice little guy. Fair play, he really is shifting, and shifting quite well. Let's bring him down a little bit. Light's still not flashing, so maybe we're going to go for a good battery life for this flight. Look at him go. Still not flashing on those lights. I tell you what, it made me look like, why it made it look like it was flashing. Where you've got the lights, they're very close to the propeller arms. So when you, or propeller guards rather, so when you turn him around like this and you turn him, it looks like the lights are flashing, whereas in matter of fact they're not. He's a wonderful little thing. Now this flight, I don't know if I'm calling it a little bit too early, but it seems to be a real good little flight. He seems to be really quite happy with what he's doing. Look at him go, he's just loving it. Excellent. Let's do a couple of different manoeuvres with him there, lowering him while banking him and turning him at the same time. Try and see if I can... Lovely little thing. And I got no problem with bringing him quite close to me either, because he's not very fast. In this speed mode, but obviously this was a speed mode that he crashed in, that he rocked and burned, so I want to try and see if I can recreate that. So this is why I'm not bumping him up through the different speed modes. Because I'm just trying to see, obviously we've seen what this guy can do, we know he does it very well, but at the same time I just want to see if I can make him, if I can force him to fail. And so far nothing, so it must have been a dodgy battery, is what I'm going to say. I'm just going to call it now. I'm going to call it now. The lights, are the lights flashing? The red light is flashing underneath that would, yeah, and the lights are flashing on the quadcopter itself. Yeah, so that is low battery warning. So, and I've called it new battery, and to be honest with you, he has worked really well. So let's bring you down, mate. Let's bring you down. Come on. Let's bring you down. And let's kill your motors. There we go. Oh, look at that. Well, that was a totally different flight. Seems like a totally different animal. Just with having different batteries in the transmitter and a different battery inside this guy as well. Well, I think, to be honest, I'm going to bump him up to 7.5 out of 10. Because I don't like giving bad reviews. I will give a bad review if it's warranted, but I will always take the quadcopter back out and fly it again and fly it again and fly it again to see whether or not it was a one-time thing or whether or not it is actually a fault to do with the quadcopter. And to be honest, I think it was a fault to do with the battery. We've just flown this for the same amount of time as the last one with a different battery inside him and no issues whatsoever. No issues with him banking, turning, forwards, up, down, altitude hold, nothing whatsoever. He just sat there and flew without any issue. So I'm going to call it a battery issue. I'm going to be bringing this guy out again because he has proven to have a failure once. I'm going to try and see if I can make it fail again. So I'm going to bring him back out. I'm going to find the old battery. I may charge that up, I may not. Now I know that battery is a little bit defective. I might get a battery tester and just have a little look, plug it in and see where we are with that one. I don't want to start a fire or anything. So what I may do is I may take out this again with the old battery, or I may have a new battery in it. Either way, you're coming out again, fella. So there we are, folks. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.